Welcome to the Car Chronicles In-Depth Look. I'm your host, Justin Rambo. In today's program, we will cover General Motors' notable engine failures. General Motors. Just the name conjures up images of classic Americana. From the muscle cars that ruled the open road to the trucks that built a nation, GM has been there. They are a company woven into the fabric of American history. For over a century, they've been a titan of industry, a symbol of American engineering prowess. And their engines, well, they're legendary. Think about it. The roar of a small block V8 in a 67 Camaro, the rumble of a big block under the hood of a Chevelle. These engines weren't just machines, they were cultural icons. They represented freedom, power, and the open road. GM engines fueled the dreams of generations, securing their place in automotive history. But even giants stumble. Even the most iconic brands can falter. And in the cutthroat world of automotive manufacturing, mistakes can be costly, very costly. For GM, this truth manifested in a series of engine blunders that tarnished their reputation and cost them dearly. Imagine this. You've just bought a brand new car. It's sleek, it's stylish, and it's got that new car smell. You're excited to hit the road, to feel the wind in your hair and the engine purring beneath you. But then it happens. The engine sputters. A warning light flashes on the dashboard. Your heart sinks. This is the nightmare scenario that thousands of GM customers faced when the company rolled out a string of problematic engines. Engines that promised innovation and performance, but delivered headaches and hefty repair bills. Engines that left customers stranded on the side of the road, questioning their faith in a once trusted brand. We're talking about engines like the Cadillac Blackwing V8, a technological marvel on paper that was plagued by production issues and ultimately discontinued. We're talking about the Showstar V6, an engine so riddled with design flaws that it became infamous for head gasket failures. And we're talking about the L85, a rebadged Honda engine that, despite its promising origins, became a case study in how not to integrate another company's technology. These weren't just isolated incidents. They were major blunders that had a ripple effect throughout the company. Dealerships felt the heat as frustrated customers flooded their service departments. GM's stock price took a hit as news of the engine problem spread. And the company's reputation, once synonymous with quality and reliability, was tarnished. But amidst the recalls, the lawsuits, and the damage control, there was a silver lining. These failures, as painful as they were, forced GM to take a long, hard look in the mirror. They had to confront their mistakes, learn from their blunders, and rededicate themselves to building better engines. In the crucible of failure, GM had a choice: crumble or adapt. To understand GM's engine blunders, we need to rewind the clock, back when American cars ruled the road and their engines were legendary. The golden age of American muscle, where chrome gleamed and horsepower was king. It was about speed, power, and a feeling. The freedom of the open road and the thrill of a big V8 engine. GM led this revolution. Their small block V8, introduced in 1955, became iconic. compact, powerful, and modifiable, it was a favorite among hot rodders. Then came the big block V8s, cementing GM's dominance. These engines were cultural touchstones, the soundtrack of a generation. But the golden age couldn't last forever. The 1970s brought new challenges. The oil crisis hit, forcing automakers to rethink. New competitors challenged Detroit's dominance. From across the Pacific, a new breed of car emerged. Japanese automakers, once dismissed as makers of cheap, unreliable vehicles, arrived on American shores with a vengeance. They brought with them fuel-efficient engines, innovative designs, and a reputation for quality that quickly caught the attention of American buyers. Brands like Toyota and Honda became household names, their cars known for their reliability and affordability. This new competition forced American automakers, including GM, to adapt or die. Gone were the days of simply churning out bigger, more powerful engines. Fuel efficiency, emission standards, and reliability became just as important as horsepower and torque. GM responded with smaller engines, front-wheel drive, and a focus on fuel economy. But the transition wasn't always smooth. The company struggled to match the quality and refinement of their Japanese rivals, and their reputation for building dependable cars took a hit. As the 20th century drew to a close, the automotive industry underwent another seismic shift. Technology, once relegated to science fiction novels, was rapidly changing the face of car manufacturing. Computers became an integral part of engine design, allowing for more precise fuel delivery, variable valve timing, and sophisticated engine management systems. Turbochargers, once the domain of high-performance sports cars, found their way into everyday vehicles, boosting power and efficiency. GM, eager to reclaim its position at the forefront of automotive innovation, invested heavily in these new technologies. They developed new generations of V8 engines, like the LS series, that were smaller, lighter, and more powerful than their predecessors. They experimented with turbocharging, supercharging, and even hybrid technology. But this push for innovation came with risks. The more complex an engine becomes, the more potential points of failure it has. And for GM, this would prove to be a costly lesson. As the 21st century dawned, GM found itself at a crossroads. The company was still grappling with the legacy of its past mistakes while trying to navigate the challenges of a rapidly changing industry. The competitive landscape was more fierce than ever, with new players emerging from China and other parts of the world, and the demand for SUVs and trucks, once a bright spot for American automakers, was putting pressure on them to improve the fuel efficiency of these larger vehicles. It was against this backdrop that GM embarked on the development of the engines that would become cautionary tales: the Cadillac Blackwing V8, the Showstar V6, and the L85. These engines, each in their own way, represented GM's desire to innovate, to recapture the magic of its past, and to reclaim its position as a leader in the automotive world. But as we'll see, the road to automotive redemption is paved with good intentions, and sometimes even costlier mistakes. The year was 2019. Cadillac, once the epitome of American luxury, had been struggling against German rivals. They needed a game changer. Enter the Blackwing V8 4.2, the most powerful V8 in Cadillac's history. This wasn't just another engine, it was a statement, a symbol of Cadillac's ambition to reclaim its place at the top. The Blackwing V8 was more than just a collection of impressive numbers. It was a testament to the dedication and skill of GM's engineers. This wasn't some off-the-shelf power plant. It was designed and developed in-house, a point of pride for a company that had, in recent years, relied on partnerships and rebadged engines to fill its engine bays. Every detail, from the shape of the intake manifold to the design of the turbochargers, was meticulously engineered to extract maximum performance. The Blackwing's party piece was its hot V configuration, with the turbochargers nestled between the cylinder banks. This design, more commonly found in high-performance sports cars, reduced turbo lag, improved throttle response, and gave the engine a distinctive growl. It was a clear signal that Cadillac wasn't just playing catch-up. They were aiming to set new benchmarks in engine performance and refinement. For a brief moment, it seemed like Cadillac had pulled it off. The Blackwing V8 was met with critical acclaim, praised for its smooth power delivery, its intoxicating exhaust note, and its technological sophistication. It was the shot in the arm that Cadillac desperately needed, desperately. But even as the Blackwing V8 was being hailed as a triumph of engineering, storm clouds were gathering on the horizon. The Cadillac CT6, the flagship sedan chosen to showcase the Blackwing's capabilities, was struggling to find buyers in a market increasingly obsessed with SUVs. Despite its impressive performance, luxurious interior, and cutting-edge technology, the CT6 was caught in a perfect storm of changing consumer preferences and internal corporate turmoil. GM, facing financial pressures and shifting its focus towards electric vehicles and autonomous driving, made the difficult decision to discontinue the CT6 in the North American market. This left the Blackwing V8 without a suitable home, a technological marvel stranded without a flagship to propel. The writing was on the wall. Despite its engineering brilliance and critical acclaim, the Blackwing V8 was living on borrowed time. Its fate was inextricably linked to the success of the CT6, and with the sedan's demise, the engine's future looked increasingly bleak. In a move that shocked many in the automotive world, GM announced in 2020 that it would be discontinuing the Blackwing V8 engine. The news sent shockwaves through the industry, leaving many to wonder how such a promising engine could be abandoned so soon after its introduction. The answer, as is often the case in the automotive world, was a complex mix of market forces, corporate strategy, and perhaps a touch of bad timing. The development of any new engine is a massive undertaking, requiring hundreds of millions, if not billions, of dollars in investment. For GM, the Blackwing V8 represented a significant gamble, a bet that the engine's technological prowess and performance credentials would be enough to revive the Cadillac brand and lure buyers away from its German rivals. But the gamble hadn't paid off. With the CT6 discontinued and no other suitable platform within GM's lineup, the Blackwing V8 was deemed too expensive to produce. A niche engine without a viable home. It was a bitter pill to swallow, a stark reminder that even the most technologically advanced engines can fall victim to the cold realities of the market. The Blackwing V8 4.2's short lifespan is a cautionary tale of ambition, innovation, and the unforgiving nature of the automotive industry. It's a story of a company striving to recapture its past glory, investing heavily in a technological marvel, only to see its efforts cut short by changing market dynamics and internal corporate decisions. But the Blackwing story isn't just a tale of failure. It's also a testament to the power of engineering excellence and the enduring allure of a truly special engine. Even today, years after its discontinuation, the Blackwing V8 is spoken of in reverential tones by automotive enthusiasts and journalists. It's remembered as a high water mark for Cadillac, a glimpse of what the brand was capable of achieving. And while it may be gone, the Blackwing's legacy lives on, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the pursuit of automotive excellence can yield remarkable results, however fleeting they may be. The late 1990s and early 2000s were a strange time for the American automotive industry. SUVs were booming, and automakers scrambled to meet the demand. GM went all in on SUVs and crossovers. They needed a powerful, fuel-efficient engine. Enter the Showstar V6. Launched in 1999, it powered vehicles like the Buick Rendezvous and Pontiac Aztek. A 3.4-liter V6, it seemed solid on paper, but the Showstar became known for its unreliability. If there's one thing that strikes fear into the heart of any car owner, it's the dreaded head gasket failure. It's an expensive repair, often requiring the engine to be partially disassembled. For owners of the Showstar V6, head gasket failure was all too common. The engine would overheat, causing the head gaskets to warp or crack. Imagine driving down the highway, kids in the back, when the temperature gauge creeps up. You pull over, pop the hood, and see white smoke billowing from the engine bay. The coolant reservoir is bone dry. Your heart sinks. You know this isn't going to be a cheap fix. Countless Showstar V6 owners found themselves stranded, their engines cooked by a design flaw. The Showstar V6 wasn't just an inconvenience for owners, it was a financial disaster for GM. Warranty claims related to the engine's head gasket. Problems piled up, costing the company millions. Lawsuits were filed, accusing GM of knowingly selling vehicles with defective engines. The Showstar V6 became a symbol of GM's struggles, highlighting a disconnect between engineering and cost-cutting. In their rush to capitalize on the SUV boom, GM prioritized speed and cost efficiency over thorough engineering and testing. The Showstar V6 was particularly problematic in Buick models, especially the Rendezvous. This hurt Buick's efforts to attract a younger customer base, reinforcing the perception that GM lagged behind Toyota and Honda in quality. Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Chevrolet models were also affected, further tarnishing GM's reputation. The company found itself in a vicious cycle, with each new engine problem fueling the perception of corner cutting. It would take years and a renewed focus on engineering excellence for GM to repair the damage. The Showstar V6 is a cautionary tale about the importance of rigorous engineering and long-term sustainability. GM eventually phased out the Showstar V6, replacing it with more reliable engines and implementing stringent quality control measures. However, GM struggles with engine reliability didn't end there. The company soon faced another engine controversy, this time involving a partnership with Honda. The early 2000s were a time of great change for the automotive industry. Automakers were under pressure to develop bigger, more powerful, fuel-efficient, and cleaner vehicles. One such partnership was between GM and Honda, known for its engineering prowess and fuel-efficient engines. GM needed fuel-efficient engines for its SUVs, and Honda had a reputation for reliability. The result was the L85 engine, a rebadged version of Honda's J-Series V6. Hopes were high that this collaboration would inject some Honda magic into GM's lineup. The L85 engine debuted in 2004, powering GM vehicles like the Saturn Vue and Chevrolet Equinox, but problems surfaced almost immediately, with complaints of sluggish performance and poor fuel economy. GM made modifications to the Honda engine, upsetting the delicate balance Honda had achieved. The result was an engine that felt less refined and reliable than its Honda counterpart. This marriage of convenience between GM and Honda wasn't going as smoothly as planned. The L85's issues highlighted the risks of modifying another company's technology. Imagine buying a GM vehicle expecting Honda-like reliability, only to face sluggish performance and poor fuel economy. The L85 engine had issues like premature timing chain wear and oil consumption problems. These problems tarnished the reputation of the L85 and the vehicles it powered. It was a reminder that slapping a Honda badge on an engine doesn't guarantee Honda-like reliability. The L85's issues were serious enough to erode trust in GM's brand. The L85 engine debacle strained the relationship between GM and Honda. Honda wasn't thrilled to see its J-Series engine associated with reliability problems. GM faced warranty claims, lawsuits, and further damage to its reputation. The L85 engine was eventually phased out, replaced by GM's own designs. The saga highlighted the complexities of integrating technology from another company. It also underscored the importance of thorough engineering and rigorous testing. In the aftermath of the L85 debacle, GM had to pick up the pieces. The company learned hard lessons about collaboration and the importance of thorough engineering. GM's engineers developed a new generation of engines, like the LS series and Ecotech family. These engines proved that GM could build world-class power plants, competing with the best from Japan and Europe. The fallout from the engine failures hit GM hard, damaging their reputation. Customers who once trusted GM now approach the brand with skepticism. GM executives issued public apologies, pledging to make things right. They promised greater transparency, more rigorous testing, and a renewed commitment to quality. These pronouncements, while necessary, rang hollow to some customers. Actions would speak louder than words in regaining customer trust. Recalls became a recurring theme for GM, especially with the Showstar V6. For GM owners, recall notices were a source of annoyance and anxiety. The recall process itself was often frustrating, with backlogged dealerships and waiting for parts. While GM covered repair costs, the inconvenience left many customers jaded. The recalls highlighted the extent of the issues, further eroding trust in GM. It was a classic case of one step forward, two steps back. As engine failures and recalls mounted, GM faced legal battles. Class action lawsuits alleged that GM knew about the defects, but concealed them. These lawsuits sought compensation for repairs and diminished vehicle values. The legal battles drained resources and tarnished GM's image. They served as a reminder of the high stakes in the automotive industry. Despite setbacks, GM didn't give up on building engines. The engine failures spurred GM's engineering team to build better, more reliable engines. This led to the development of the LS series of V8 engines, known for their power and reliability. These engines found their way into a wide range of GM vehicles, proving GM's capability. The LS engines became the foundation for a new era of GM performance. GM's engine blunders serve as a reminder of the unforgiving nature of the automotive industry. These failures eroded consumer trust and sparked legal battles, draining resources. The Blackwing V8 highlighted the fickle nature of the industry. The Showstar V6 symbolized the dangers of prioritizing cost-cutting over engineering integrity. The L85 demonstrated the complexities of integrating technology from another company. The road to redemption for GM was paved with humility, hard work, and a renewed focus on automotive engineering. Faced with its mistakes, GM chose to rise from the ashes, stronger and wiser. They invested in research and development, empowering engineers to design a new generation of engines. This was a fundamental shift in mindset, reclaiming their position as a leader in engine technology. The LS series of V8s and the Ecotec family showcased GM's renewed commitment to engineering excellence. Powerful, efficient, and reliable, these engines earned praise from consumers and critics. The road to redemption was long, but GM emerged a testament to American ingenuity. Today, the automotive industry stands at the precipice of a new era, an era defined by electrification, autonomy, and a relentless push towards sustainability. The internal combustion engine, once the undisputed king of the road, faces an uncertain future, challenged by battery-powered rivals and increasingly stringent emissions regulations. But amidst this technological upheaval, one thing remains constant: the need for innovation. And it's in this spirit of innovation that GM, drawing on the lessons learned from its past mistakes, is charting a new course. While GM is investing heavily in electric vehicles, recognizing the inevitability of this technological shift, they haven't abandoned the internal combustion engine. They continue to refine and improve their gasoline and diesel engines, squeezing out every last drop of efficiency and performance. They're also exploring new frontiers, investing in hydrogen fuel cell technology and other alternative fuel sources. The future of the American engine may not be entirely clear, but one thing is certain: GM, armed with the hard-won lessons of its past, is determined to be a driving force in shaping the future of mobility. That wraps up our in-depth look. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for up-to-the-minute updates on videos. Also be sure to tune in to our daily automotive news blank, where we upload daily short news. Blanks on hot off the press automotive news. I'm your host, Justin Rambo, and I'll see you next time.